Well, joining me now is a man many of us know as a famous television personality. He's also a former Israeli paratrooper who fought in the 1967 Six-Day War, and he's a long-term friend of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and that's Uri Geller. Uri, great to talk to you. I wish it had been in happier circumstance. We've talked many times over the years. What is your response to what has happened here?
Okay, Piers, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me onto your show. And I would like to correct you because over 1,200 people were slaughtered. And you said it, children, babies, elderly, women, men. You know what? Dogs were shot. Dogs, pets were shot. I mean, I'm outraged. And I would like to say that over 3,500 people are injured, maimed. Who knows how many tens of thousands are psychologically hurt, physically, inside their mind. They will never forget this. And I would like to mention, this is very important, that this is the worst tragedy to happen to the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Just think about that. The number of Israeli deaths is equivalent, now listen to this, to as if 36,000 people were killed in a single attack in America. And there's no doubt Iran is behind the attack. You know, even if we don't have yet solid proof, there is no doubt that Iran made the conditions, the right conditions for this attack to be possible. And exactly the same way as Hitler made the Holocaust possible. I am outraged, I'm angry, like the millions of Israelis are angry. How could this have happened?
Let me ask you.
I call this, first of all...
Let me ask you. I completely agree. Yeah. I share your outrage here. And it can only be immeasurably worse if you're Jewish, if you live in Israel. It must be immeasurably worse, and I completely accept that. I want to just put aside this atrocity for a moment, and I want to talk about the historic conflict, and I want to ask you, how does this ever get resolved? I mean, the scale of what's happened here is so heinous that I don't have any hope that it can be resolved anytime soon. But before that, what would you have said last week about the way this ever gets resolved?
Well, Piers, look, I'm not a historian. Whether you're asking me this question as an Israeli or as a psychic or to predict how this will be solved, as an Israeli, really, nobody knows yet. I'm an optimist. I'm a positive thinker. I want to believe that after this war is finished, and God knows where this war is going to take us, but I do believe in diplomacy. I do believe in negotiations. And I think in the long, long run, because I'm an optimist, I believe that there will be peace. There has to be peace.
But what do you feel, Uri, let me ask you, what do you feel about the plight of the Palestinian people, going back decades now? I mean, there can be no disputing the fact that 2 million people live in appalling conditions there. Very few are able to get out of there. Their conditions have just now obviously got 10 times worse, and many will say, well, good, they deserve it, but many of them are completely innocent people. Their women, children will get killed as well in this process. And I just wonder, how do you deal with Gaza? I mean, what happens there?
Okay, look, you know, again, tragically, after this massacre, the gloves are off. They have to be off. Otherwise, this will never, never, ever stop. Look, I feel for the Palestinian people, especially for the children. Children are being hurt on both sides. You know, ironically, believe it or not, I am connected. I support a worldwide charity that is based in Israel called Save a Child's Heart. We've saved over 7,000 children with open heart surgery. Do you want to believe this? That half of them are Palestinians. Half of the kids we saved are Palestinians. So it's very difficult for me to predict how this is going to be solved. Look, we have to go back, I mean, in history, thousands of years. The Jewish people escaped Egypt. I mean, we were persecuted for not decades, but not hundreds of years, but thousands of years. And this is one part of this frenzy of war that is happening and is creating chaos, not only in the Middle East, but probably around the world. Look, let me bring back the Iranians. You know, for the Iranians now, this gives time to continue building the nuclear bomb. A nuclear bomb in the hands of Iran, I mean, that's deadly worldwide. I don't have to tell you, Piers, what would happen if a nuclear bomb explodes in Europe. Forget it. Forget it. The whole world, radiation travels in air, with wind. It's deadly. And we have to focus not only on this immediate conflict now, but we have to make sure Iran does not get the nuclear bomb.
I agree. And I think
like
Iran's,
you said,
although it's not been established beyond doubt yet, I think it's pretty obvious that Hamas could not have carried out something of this scale without the help of Iran, in terms of training, in terms of funding, in terms of all of it. And they remain a global menace and must be treated as such. Uri, I've got to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. As I say, I wish it was in...
Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
I wish it was in better circumstances. And my thoughts with everybody over where you are. Thank you very much.